Hello and welcome to Mythical Meeples. Today we'll be looking at Disney Villainous, Bigger and Badder, the latest in a series of boxes for the Disney Villainous game, where you can play as one of many different villains. Just a quick word from me before we go on. If you like my content, please like, comment and subscribe. This all helps me get seen. And don't forget, you can become a member of Mythical Meeples, where you'll receive extra content, or you can support me on Patreon too. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at the box. So here you can see the three different villains that we can play as. We can play as Lotso from Toy Story 3, Syndrome from the first Incredibles movie, and Madame Mim from Sword in the Stone. You can play this as a standalone game for 2 to 3 players, or you can mix and match it with the other Disney Villainous box sets to play with up to 6 people. Each villain has a unique cards, and plays differently. So no game you play will ever be the same. Let's take a look inside. So inside you're given an instruction booklet. This is the same, or pretty much the same, throughout the various Disney Villainous boxes. So I'm not going to look into this too much. The only sort of real differences are which characters you get shown as the examples. So here you can see Syndrome in different boxes. It'll be different characters based on the ones within the box. So in the box you also get villain boards. So you get 3 of these, 1 for each of the villains. You get 3 characters. And these are your villain movers. So this is Madame Mim. Lotso, and the first one was Syndrome. You also get some villain guides. These are different for each villain and contain the sort of rules for winning as your character, and you get some reference cards. So on the other side they tell you what each of the symbols means, and here you get the objectives for your villain. Each character has their own deck of cards, which contains 30 cards for the villain deck and 15 cards for the fate deck. Fate decks are used against you. Villain decks are your own deck of cards that you need to work through to find the cards that you need to win. You also get a set of tokens. So most of these are power tokens. However, each villain sometimes has their own set of tokens. Take a quick look at those first. So here you can see all the different tokens. In the middle, we have the power tokens. These are used to play cards and do other abilities depending on who you're playing as. You have a fate token, which you only use in games of 5 or 6 players, and you give this to the player who's been fated, and that person can't be targeted again with a fate action until someone else has. For Lotso, you get Buzz Lightyear, demo mode Buzz Lightyear as a tile. And you also get these double-sided tokens here. So one side has +1, the other side has minus a number. So 1, 2, and +1 on the other side. Syndrome has 3 tiles, which you use to swap out at various times. They are Omnidroid version X8, version X9, and version 10. Which is double-sided with a destroyed Omnidroid on the back. So we're going to have a quick look at the villain boards. So each villain board has a quote from the villain, has their objective in the bottom corner, and then has the board on the inside. So here you can see Madame Mim is defeat all of Merlin's transformations. Lotso is have 4 heroes of 0 strength and Buzz Lightyear in the caterpillar room. And Syndrome's is defeat Omnidroid version 10 and have no heroes in your realm. So going to have a look at Lotso. So you can see he's got 4 locations in his realm. Most of these have 4 icons on them, but 2 of these can be covered up in the realm. And then you also have the caterpillar room, which has 3 icons just at the bottom. So Madame Mim here has 4 locations as well, but she has 3 icons at the bottom, and then most of her spaces have 1 icon at the top. So she's a bit of a different board to most of the other boards that you'll see. She also has 2 fate actions at the bottom, whereas most villains have 1 at the bottom and 1 which can be covered up. Finally, Syndrome. So this is your sort of standard board that you're looking at. Most villains will have 4 actions, 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top. Lastly, I'm just going to take a look at one of the villains' decks. So you can see the 2 types of cards here. You've got fate cards, you've got the villain deck. The backs are different. So for Lotso, you've got pink, and then all of the villains have a white fate deck. So in these you get allies, which you use to defeat heroes. You get condition cards, which you play when another player does something. Effects, which you do immediately. So you can see there's quite a lot of the same cards in here. You get items as well, which you play to your realm. And then the villain fate deck. So you get heroes, which you use to stop other people. So you don't play your own fate deck most of the time. You've got a couple of effects in here as well. Heroes. Effects again. No items in this deck. Some hero fate decks do, some don't. So each villain deck is different, depending on your objective, and they just vary completely. Just going to look at this one today though. And finally, I'm just going to take a quick look at the reference cards. So here you can see all the different actions: gain power, play a card, activate, fate, move an item or ally, move a hero, vanquish, and discard cards. All of the villains tend to have gain power, play a card, and fate actions. Some will have activate, some will have move an item or ally, some will have hero. The majority have vanquish, there are a few that don't, and all of them have discard cards as well. And then just as I mentioned earlier on the back here, you can see the different objectives. So that's it for today. Thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little unboxing video. And remember, please like, comment, subscribe. And don't forget, if you want to support me as well, you can become a member of Mythical Meeples or support me on Patreon. There'll be links in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.